Boom! That's the sound of Vasiliy Lomachenko unleashing precision-packed power. Knockouts so clean, they feel like choreography. Opponents don't just fall, they vanish beneath a rhythm only he can hear. But that power isn't confined to the ring. It cruises quietly behind the wheel of a Rolls-Royce. It hums through a lifestyle built on obsession, a sleek mansion, a wall lined with gold, and a net worth hovering between $10 and $15 million. Every world title, every accolade, earned with discipline, not noise. 396 wins in the amateurs, 2 Olympic golds. World champion in 3 weight classes. Fighters didn't just lose to Lomachenko, they surrendered. This is mastery in motion. Brutality with ballet shoes. And the Matrix? Still alive and calculating. So, before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an inside look at the lives of the world's biggest sports stars. Now let's get into it. Born on February 17th, 1988, in the small Ukrainian town of Bilhorod-Dnistrovskyi, Vasiliy Lomachenko didn't arrive into the world with gloves on his fists. He arrived with rhythm in his blood. His father, Anatoly Lomachenko, was a boxing coach with a vision far ahead of his time. He didn't rush his son into the ring. Instead, he guided him through dance classes, Ukrainian folk routines that taught young Vasiliy how to glide like smoke and pivot like a ghost. Then came gymnastics, strength, balance, control. Only when Anatoly believed the foundation was perfect did he allow Vasiliy to step between the ropes. What emerged from that unorthodox formula was nothing short of revolutionary. As an amateur, he carved out a record almost too perfect to believe: 396 wins and a single loss. One he would avenge not once, but twice. He didn't just beat his opponents. He solved them, dismantled them like puzzles under pressure. Olympic gold in Beijing. Olympic gold in London. World championships, European titles. Each added quietly, like notes in a symphony. When he turned professional in 2013, he shattered expectations. In just his 3rd pro fight, he captured a world title, matching a record that had stood for decades. Over the next few years, he would unify belts across 3 weight classes, dance circles around champions, and make elite fighters quit on their stools, something rarely seen in modern boxing. But Lomachenko's brilliance wasn't just in what he did, it was in how he did it. His footwork defied logic. His timing felt surgical. His style, a fusion of ballet and brutality, left crowds breathless and opponents baffled. He was a fighter who didn't just dominate, he reinvented the art itself. In 2024, Lomachenko reclaimed his place at the top, becoming the IWith lightweight champion once again, with performances that proved his brilliance hadn't faded. It had matured. With an estimated net worth of $15 million, bolstered by million-dollar fight purses and global endorsements like his deal with Venum, he now lives like a star but trains like a soldier. What if I told you the most technically perfect boxer of our time didn't grow up in Las Vegas gyms or under bright American lights, but in a small Ukrainian town, dancing before he ever threw a punch? Before Vasiliy Lomachenko learned how to fight, he was taught how to move. Not with a jab, not with foot drills, but with traditional Ukrainian dance. His father, Anatoly, believed that footwork was the soul of boxing. And when he finally put on gloves, the ring became his stage and the world his audience. By the time he entered the amateur circuit, he wasn't just boxing opponents. He was outclassing them, gliding across the canvas, hitting angles others couldn't see, and making world-class fighters look like amateurs. His ring IQ was off the charts. His balance? Impeccable. And his timing? Almost unfair. He went on a tear, racking up over 396 wins with just a single loss, a loss he avenged. It wasn't just dominance. It was artistry. He collected gold at the 2008 Beijing Olympics and again at London 2012, humiliating the best in the world with surgical precision. Commentators and trainers whispered about him like a myth. When he finally turned pro in 2013, the boxing world buzzed with anticipation. He didn't want to be coddled. No slow builds, no hand-picked opponents, just legends right away. He demanded a world title shot, in only his second professional fight. That's unheard of, borderline insane. But he wasn't chasing paydays. He was chasing greatness. His second pro bout was against Orlando Salido, a rugged veteran who knew how to turn a fight dirty. Salido missed weight, came in heavy, and spent 12 rounds fouling, wrestling, and roughing up the Ukrainian technician. Lomachenko lost that fight on the scorecards, but he didn't lose the narrative. He had gone 12 rounds with a world champion under the dirtiest conditions possible, and nearly pulled it off. One fight later, he challenged Gary Russell Jr., an undefeated speed demon known for his lightning-fast hands. This time, he didn't just win. He painted a masterpiece. He controlled the pace, defused Russell's speed, and became the fastest man in boxing history to win a world title in just 3 fights. From that moment, he was no longer the Olympic kid. He was something more. Over the next few years, Lomachenko began to forge a legacy built not just on wins, but on how he won. Opponents were bewildered. They couldn't touch him, couldn't read him, couldn't even stay facing him. Fighters like Nicholas Walters and Guillermo Rigondeaux, both undefeated and feared, quit on their stools. They didn't want to continue. They had never experienced boxing like this. It wasn't just physical domination, it was psychological. He made world champions feel helpless. Fans and pundits gave him a nickname that stuck, High Tech. But others started calling him Lomachenko because so many of his opponents were giving up mid-fight. Not from injury, not from pain, but from pure confusion. His footwork looked like sorcery, teleporting around opponents, striking from impossible angles, resetting the fight before they could breathe. It was like watching The Matrix, except it was real. In 2018, he took a bold step. He moved up in weight to challenge Jorge Linares for the WBA lightweight title. Linares was bigger, faster at that weight, and dropped Lomachenko in the 6th round with a slick counter. For a moment, the boxing world held its breath. Was a magician human after all? But Lomachenko rose, calm, composed, and by the 10th round, he landed a vicious liver shot that folded Linares like a chair. The crowd erupted. It was the kind of knockout you feel in your bones. He had shown he wasn't just a dancer or a technician. He was a fighter, one who could grit his teeth and finish the job. He went on to unify titles against Jose Pedraza and then make quick work of Anthony Crawford, defending his WBA, WBO, and ring titles. Each time, it wasn't just about the win. It was about the gap in skill. But greatness always invites new challenges. In 2020, he faced a rising star, Teofimo Lopez. Bigger, younger, explosive. And for the first half of the fight, Lomachenko barely threw punches. He was patient, some said too patient, waiting for the storm to pass. And when he turned up the pressure late in the fight, it felt too little, too late. Teofimo won the decision, and Lomachenko lost his titles. Critics pounced. Had age caught up to him? Had injuries dulled his edge? But he wasn't finished. Not even close. He returned in 2021 against Masayoshi Nakatani, a tall, awkward fighter known for taking punches and never backing down. He dismantled him, dropping him, breaking him, finishing him. The magician was back. He followed it up with a clinical win over Richard Cummey, and once again, people started whispering. Could he climb the mountain again? But then everything changed, not in the ring, but in the world. In 2022, as war broke out in his homeland, Lomachenko made a choice most athletes wouldn't even consider. He put his boxing career on pause and returned to Ukraine, not to train, but to join the territorial defense. Fame, money, belts, none of it mattered. He was a soldier first, a son of Ukraine, and that decision revealed something even deeper about him. Beneath the precision and poise was a man with unshakable conviction. When he finally returned to the ring in 2023, he looked sharper than ever. He faced Jermaine Ortiz, a young, hungry fighter with nothing to lose, and it was a war. But his experience and adjustments carried him through. That one set up a high-stakes showdown with Devin Haney, the undisputed lightweight champion and face of the new generation. The stage was perfect, old master versus young king. And when the bell rang, Lomachenko turned back the clock. He outboxed, outworked, and outclassed Haney in the championship rounds. Though many felt Lomachenko deserved victory against Haney, the judges ruled otherwise, leaving him empty-handed once more. But the boxing world still saw a legend, sharp, dangerous, and determined. Nearly a year later, in May 2024, he faced George Kambosos Jr. for the IWith lightweight title. With relentless precision, he broke down Kambosos with body shots before finishing him off by 11th round TKO. At 36, Lomachenko reclaimed a world championship, proving he remains a master of his craft. Now, the burning question is, who can challenge the enduring enigma? Behind the cold stare and surgical precision in the ring is a man whose roots run deep. He is married to Elena, a woman as graceful as he is relentless. A former acrobat who once claimed silver at the European Championships under the guidance of Lomachenko's mother, Elena chose a life away from the spotlight. But make no mistake, her presence is etched into every corner of his world. Together, they've built a life that balances discipline and tenderness, raising 2 children. His bond with his father, Anatoly Lomachenko, is more than familial. It's etched in ink across his torso, a constant reminder of the man who molded him. Anatoly wasn't just a coach. He was an architect, designing every step of Vasily's path from childhood, crafting a fighter with an artist's touch and a warrior's heart. Meanwhile, his mother, Tatiana, brought acrobatics and balance into his early years, building agility and grace long before he ever laced up gloves. Behind the bright lights, roaring crowds, and the sharp glare of championship glory stands a man who prefers silence to noise, discipline to chaos, and precision to spectacle. While the world sees him as a surgical destroyer in the ring, an artist whose footwork borders on supernatural, what lies beyond the arena tells a far more grounded, yet equally compelling story. Nestled in the scenic city of Odessa, Ukraine, is the home he shares with his family. It's more than just a luxurious estate. It's a sanctuary, a place far removed from the spotlight, yet close enough to the roots that shaped him. Before this, he lived in a rented house in California while training in Oxnard, but that was always temporary. Ukraine was always home, and when he does indulge, it's with precision. His garage reads like a car enthusiast's dream. Powerful, sleek, and unmistakably elite. A Toyota Land Cruiser for rugged reliability. A Mercedes G-Class when presence matters. A GLE and a BMW X5 when performance meets comfort. Each vehicle, like Lomachenko himself, is built with intention. His obsession with quality doesn't end there. Every stitch of his custom boxing gear, every glove molded to his hands, speaks to a man who values mastery in every detail. Sponsored by Venum, one of boxing's premium apparel brands, he trains with the best because anything less just isn't in his nature. And even as war tears through his homeland, Lomachenko gives back quietly, supporting Ukrainian soldiers, never chasing recognition for it. Before you go, don't miss out on exclusive perks. Click the link in the description to become a channel member and enjoy awesome benefits, like suggesting future video topics, getting early access to new content 48 hours before anyone else, and much more. Your support means the world and helps us keep bringing you the stories you love. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. And while you're here, why not check out our deep dive into Teofimo Lopez's video? Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.